Hello everyone. So today in this webinar, we'll be discussing regarding the tax audit applicability. There is a major change by Finance Act 2020, and that change is also applicable from AY 2021 itself. That is the year for which tax audit will be done in the coming months. So what change is there? We'll be discussing. What all things that have not undergone a change, that also we'll be discussing in this session. Further, what are the relevant changes in the ITR form which will ensure that the compliance of tax audit applicability changes have been done will also be discussed in this session. So first topic which we'll cover is cases in which there is no change. There is no change at all regarding those earning from professions, which means all the professionals who are having gross receipts more than 50 lakhs, tax audit is mandatory for them. Second case scenario, professionals whose gross receipt, turnover, etc. is less than 50 lakhs, but they are willing to offer income which is less than the presumptive income limit provided under section 44 ADA. So before completing this point, I want to brief you regarding section 44 ADA. This particular section covers certain professionals, and this section says, notwithstanding anything other provided under the chapter PGBP, a professional has to offer minimum 50% of the gross receipt as taxable income. Since this section comes with a notwithstanding clause, one has to follow. If it is not followed, then tax audit is mandatory. So in short, if a professional is having gross receipt of more than 50 lakhs, straight away it is taxable. Tax audit is mandatory. If it is less than 50 lakhs, let's assume income or gross receipt of a professional is around 45 lakhs. So limit provided under 44 ADA is 50% of the gross receipt you have to offer, and that professional wants calculated his income, taxable income as per provisions, and he arrived at a figure of 20 lakhs. In that case, tax audit will still be applicable even if gross receipt is less than 50 lakhs. Third thing, only one case for those having business income which has not undergone a change is in respect to presumptive sections which are 44 AE, 44 BB and 44 triple B. If an assessee is governed by specific these three sections, then if in that case they will be governed by these particular sections only, and if their actual taxable income they want to show less than the presumptive income provided under these sections, then only tax audit will be mandatory. These three clauses have not undergone a change. Actually speaking, if you will see the revised section, you will be able to see that change is only in clause 1, but it has impacted other sections. How it has impacted other sections we'll come to know while discussion during this session. Now, what about those who are having business income but are not covered by section 44 AD? Section 44 AD, I'll revise for your ready reference. Section 44 AD provides that if you are having turnover up to 2 crores, you can show taxable income as 8% of your total turnover. However, if it is from banking channels, you can show 6% as your taxable income. These are the limits provided under section 44 AD. But first, we are discussing for those assessees who are not covered by section 44 AD. And further, one more thing, who were not covered by section 44 AD in last 5 years. Why? If you want to note down, you can note down this. You have to check section 44 AD subsection 4. That subsection 4 says, if you have opted, that subsection talks about if you have opted for section 44 AD in last 5 years. So if you have opted, then this particular discussion is not regarding those assessees of yours. Now, in case of such assessees, it is simple. If their turnover is less than 1 crore, answer is tax audit will not be applicable. The procedure which I have adopted for making this presentation, I have used a flowchart. This flowchart will help you analyze uh, each and every case with the respective provision. You first have to see whether the assessee of yours or your company or your business is falling under this category. Whether turnover is less than 1 crore, tax audit not applicable. But if in turnover is more than 1 crore, this first particular slide, there was no change in this. Change has came in the next slide. This is the important discussion. If the turnover of the business owner is more than 1 crore but less than 5 crores, there is a change. Change is beneficial to assessee. How beneficial? Because earlier it was, if income of assessee who is having business income and is not covered by section 44 AD, if it was more than 1 crore, straight away answer was tax audit applicable. But now tax audit might not be applicable. What you need to check? First thing, you need to check his receipts. What is meant by term receipt will cover in a while. So first discussion will be having these flow charts. Post these flow charts, I'll provide you the meaning of term receipt, term payment. Thereafter, we'll see changes in ITR. Post all these discussion, we'll also see certain case studies. Those case studies will help you analyze the amendment in a much more better manner. So coming back to the current slide, those business owners who are not covered by section 44 AD, if their turnover exceeds rupees 1 crores but is less than 5 crores, first you have to see their receipts. You have to scrutinize all the receipts and you have to check the proportion of receipts in cash in comparison to total receipts. First condition, you will check whether all receipts in cash is more than 5% of total receipt. If your answer is yes, then tax audit will be applicable. If answer to this question will be no, you have to go to the next question, which will make you analyze the payment side. In this question, you have to answer whether all payments in cash is more than 5% of total payments. Now here I want to point out one thing which we'll be covering during the case studies as well. In terms of receipts, no issue. But in terms of payment, if you are doing any revenue expenditure more than 10,000, it might be disallowed based on certain other factors which are provided in Rule 6D, but it might be disallowed. We'll be having a discussion while doing case studies. What should happen in that case? So if the answer to the question that all payments in cash, whether it is more than 5% of total payment, answer is yes, then tax audit is still applicable. Answer is no, then tax audit is not applicable. So this is, in this manner, the scope has been reduced, but it is to promote transactions through banking channels. and to avoid cash transactions. You can say, you can in a manner you can say benefit is provided to only those business owners who are having transactions through banking channel more than 95%, both at receipt side and payment side. Next is those business owners having turnover more than 5 crores. Answer is simple. Tax audit applicable? Yes. This all this discussion till now were for those who are not applicable for section 44 AD. Next, we'll be discussing for those business owners who are covered by section 44 AD, for which I also told we have to go through section 44 AD subsection 4. Even if you were covered by the section 44 AD in last 5 years, any of the last 5 years, and in current year you are showing less than the prescribed limit, that is you are not opting for 44 AD, there can be certain there can be certain tax audit applicability. How it is? Let's discuss. So first case scenario, turnover less than 1 crore. If an assessee was never opting 44 AD, it was straight away answer tax audit was no. In this case also there is no change by Finance Act, but I'm explaining to cover a holistic approach. If turnover of such assessee is less than 1 crore, whether he is offering income less than presumptive income, if answer is no, that means he is offering more than presumptive income, tax audit will not be applicable. Otherwise, tax audit will be applicable. You have to see section 44 AD4, and one more condition for tax audit being applicable is income must be above maximum amount chargeable to tax. Otherwise, tax audit will not be applicable. Now, next scenario where there is a change by Finance Act 2020, that is the situation where assessee who is opting for 44 AD, but his turnover is more than 1 crore, however being less than 2 crores. 44 AD is applicable only for those who are having turnover up to 2 crores. There is a provision in section 44 AB which provides for assessees who are opting for 44 AD, their turnover up to 2 crores, and they are offering income as per the rules, as per the provisions of 44 AD, that is more than presumptive income. So if it is such case, tax audit will not be applicable, which is same as last year. But current year, as I've told you, Finance Act 2020 has reduced the scope of tax audit. You have to, even if he assessee is offering income less than presumptive income, tax audit might still not be applicable. For that, you have to check the same condition which you checked earlier. You have to first scrutinize receipt section. You have to answer a question whether all receipt in cash is more than 5% of total receipt. If answer is yes, tax audit will be applicable. If answer is no, that is he is receiving all his receipts in banking channel, through banking channel, or at least 95%, more than 95% through banking channel, you will go to next question, which is regarding payments. Here you will scrutinize the payment side, and in that your question will be again same, whether all the payment in cash is more than 5% of total payments. If yes, tax audit applicable. If no, tax audit will not be applicable. What does this mean? This means even if someone is covered by 44 AD, scope was already limited up to 2 crores turnover, it has been further limited. Just assume someone earning around 2 crores showing income less than 12%, showing income of 10 lakhs, still he might not be liable to tax audit as per the amendment provided by Finance Act 2020. Now, next scenario. Next scenario is regarding those who are having turnover more than 2 crores up to 5 crores. They might be opting for 44 AD earlier, but current year 44 AD will not be applicable for such assessees. So in such case, tax audit generally would have been applicable, but after checking the similar condition as we discussed, tax audit might not be applicable because the turnover of assessee has increased, has been more than 2 crores, but is still less than 5 crores. Fourth scenario is very much simple. Those having turnover more than 5 crore, tax audit will still be applicable. So this was regarding the limits. Now, certain points to remember. As I told you, as you have seen as well during the discussion, that Finance Act 2020 has reduced the scope. It has not increased the scope of tax audit applicability, but it has reduced the scope of tax audit applicability. Further, these amendments are applicable from AY 2021 itself. How one can conclude that it is applicable from AY 2021? There has been certain wrong interpretation by some persons that it might not be applicable from 2021, but it is applicable from AY 2021 itself. You first need to see what Section 2 of Finance Act 2020 says. It says all the amendments are applicable from 1st April 2020 unless stated otherwise. Afterwards, when you will proceed to the amendment specific to tax audit in Finance Act, you will not see any other date specifically mentioned. Third thing, memorandum clearly clarifies that this amendment for tax audit is applicable from 1st April 2020. Apart from this, even for transfer pricing report, that is Form 3CEB, amendment is also from AY 2021. And for that transfer pricing applicability, since it was a negative amendment that is not beneficial to assessees, it was preponing the due date. For that, I have provided a complete video analysis how such amendments are applicable from AY 2021, which will be similarly applicable for tax audit. If you want to know the concept, detailed concept that why such amendment is applicable from 2021, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see the video regarding Form 3CEB. There you will get the complete background, complete conceptual clarity as to why such amendment is applicable from AY 2021. Now, coming to the main terms. What is meant by payment? We have checked that we have to see certain additional condition regarding receipt and payment. What does these terms mean? The term payment. The term payment has been provided as all payments made including amount incurred for expenditure, which means revenue expenditure, or on capital account such as asset acquisition, repayment of income, etc. One point which I highlighted to you, in case of payment, if you are making any revenue expenditure more than 10,000, it might be disallowed. If you are doing any asset acquisition more than 10,000, you might not be able to claim depreciation on the same. So on payment side, there were already certain restrictions. But still, even after such restrictions, it can be the cash payment exceeds 5%, for which we'll be having discussion during case studies. Next, regarding receipt, is it has also been defined in the similar manner, which says all your revenue receipts or even on capital account, that is such as capital contribution. If a firm has received certain capital contribution in cash, it has also to be counted. If an assessee has taken a loan in cash, for that also there are certain specific sections, but even otherwise tax audit applicability might come. Now next thing is how income tax officer will be checking these things. For checking, income tax CBDT has also, apart from their background checks which they might be doing through their intelligence base, there are certain clauses, there are certain changes in ITR form as well. In case of ITR 3, 5 and 6, there are certain additional points on which assessee has to respond. First point is regarding the turnover. Whether the turnover, gross receipt, total sales exceeds 1 crore but does not exceed 5 crores. If assessee has not done has not complete say if assessee claims that he is not liable for tax audit, he will have to answer these three questions. So income tax department first of all is taking a declaration from assessee itself. Now you all are aware that penalty provisions, it says in case of misreporting, the penalty is less, while in case of wrong reporting, if there is an intentionally wrong reporting, penalty is higher. So first of all, income tax CBDT wants to take a confirmation from assessee itself. If assessee says that he is beneficial recipient of the amendment, he has got beneficial amendment because his turnover is between 1 crore and 5 crores, he has to give confirmation whether his payment is less than 5% of total payment, his receipt is less than 5% of total receipt, his cash receipt is less than 5% of total receipts. These three questions, assessee has to select either yes or no. So in this manner, you'll see if assessee answers any of the second or third question as no, income tax department CBDT will directly come to know that tax audit was applicable. So first checking they have done from assessee's confirmation itself. These are the relevant changes in ITR from tax audit applicability point of view. Now coming to case studies. First case study, facts are in this manner. Turnover of the assessee is 1.5 crore. All the receipts, all the turnover, that is revenue receipts, he has received from account pay check only. Next fact is revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure is 5 crores of the assessee. Whole amount has been paid from account pay check itself. So till now, talking about revenue receipt and revenue expenditure, it is less than 5%. That is, it is zero currently. But as we discussed, payments include even on capital account. Receipts include even on capital account. So third fact provides fixed asset has been purchased by the assessee of rupees 40 lakhs, out of which he has paid cash of 10 lakhs. Here I am assuming cost of each fixed asset purchased was not more than 10,000. There were number of fixed asset purchased by assessee, each costing less than 10,000. So I'm assuming this is an expenditure normally allowed to be added to WDV of the asset. Other things we'll discuss in the coming case studies. Now, the profit of the assessee. 1.5 crore revenue receipt, 1 crore revenue expenditure, and this 40 lakhs is depreciation. Don't mistake it with fixed asset purchased. It is the depreciation I've taken. So overall, his remaining profit is 10 lakhs, which he wants to offer. Now, assessee has opted for section 44 AD. As you can see, the turnover is less than 2 crores. Assessee has opted for presumptive taxation. Now, as per section 44 AD, since whole receipt were through account pay check, minimum amount to be offered is 6%, which comes to 9 lakh rupees. So, since assessee is offering more than 9 lakh, your first condition will come. But before going to condition, we'll talk about receipts and payments. Receipt is everything through banking channels. In terms of payments, out of total payments of 1.4 crores, he has made payment of 10 lakhs through cash. Percentage of payment in cash is 7.14%. Now, going through facts, can anyone answer in chat box whether tax audit will be applicable or not? I'll wait for one or two answer. You can go through the facts. So you all are saying tax audit applicable because you have seen payment is more than 5%. But whether his turnover is less than 2 crores, whether he's opting for section 44 AD, yes. Whether he's offering more than the presumptive income provided, answer is yes. So this is our flow chart which we discussed. Turnover is between 1 crore to 2 crores. He is not offering income less than presumptive taxation. So as per the proviso which we discussed, tax audit will not be applicable. Correct answer is tax audit will not be applicable. We discussed that since he is opting for 44 AD and his presumptive income is more than the income prescribed in that section, tax audit will not be applicable. So we'll move to next case study. Now in this particular case study, facts are similar, but the assessee is not opting for section 44 AD. Now the answer which you gave will be applicable here, because we discussed that in case he is not opting for 44 AD, first question will not come. It will directly start from the question which checks first receipts, then payments. Answer to first question was no, but answer to second question is yes. Thus, tax audit is applicable. You can see the difference between these two case studies. Case study 2 says assessee is not opting for 44 AD, that is, he is not covered by section 44 AD. While in case study 1, he was opting for section 44 AD. Now, case study 3. Just read the facts very carefully again. Case study 1 and 2 must have cleared a lot of concepts of yours. Now we'll come to case study 3. Turnover is 1.5 crores. Whole amount received through account pay check. Revenue expenditure is 1 crore. Whole amount paid by account pay check. Fixed asset purchased 1 crore. Whole amount paid by account pay check. Till now, no cash transaction. But he has taken a loan of 5 lakhs which he has taken in cash. He has repaid another loan again in cash. Profit for this assessee, for our assessee number 3, is 5 lakh rupees. 1.5 crores his revenue receipts, 1 crore his revenue expenditure, and his depreciation 45 lakhs. He was covered by section 44 AD in last year. So currently also section 44 AD subsection 4 is applicable. Now he wants to offer 5 lakhs as his income. Minimum presumptive income comes to 9 lakh rupees. Both receipt and payment is less than the prescribed limit. Vijay Narwani has said yes, applicable in third case study. Others, please respond. Applicable, you are saying. Before jumping to this solution of this case study, I want to show you the flow chart which will be applicable here. Just see this flow chart. Don't see the highlighted portion for this case study. This was regarding case study 1. This solution was for case study 1. So before showing the solution of case study 3, just answer the questions. Just think in your mind and you might revise your question. So I'll go to the solution now. Our first question was whether he is offering income less than presumptive. Answer is yes. Now answer to next two questions which are regarding receipts and payments. Nachiket has mentioned not applicable. Now answer to the second and third question are no. Hence tax audit will not be applicable. Till last year, in such cases, tax audit was applicable. But now tax audit will not be applicable for assessee number 3. Is it clear or anyone having any doubt? Answer to first question was yes, that he was offering income less than presumptive income. But answer to next two questions were no. That is why tax audit is not applicable. Now going to case study 4. Turnover 1.5 crores. Everything through account pay check. Revenue expenditure again 1 crore. Everything through account pay check. Facts are very much similar to case study 3. Loan taken 5 lakh cash. Loan repaid 10 lakhs cash. Vishakha, you have asked, even though tax audit is not applicable, will he be liable to pay tax on 9 lakhs or 5 lakhs? He will prepare his books of accounts without going for tax audit. He will offer, assessee will offer an income of 5 lakhs. Assessee need not offer 9 lakhs. Assessee now can offer 5 lakhs without going for tax audit. But he has to maintain his books of accounts. He has to provide the ITR details in that manner only. Now in case study 4, above 5 facts are similar to case study 3, but I have included one more fact. Here the fact is, assessee has also made certain donation of 2 lakh rupees. Everything is through cash. You are aware that under ATG, cash donation, if more than 2000 is not allowed. So I have, for the purpose of conceptual clarity, I have taken each such donation is to 100 different institutes and amount is not exceeding 2000 rupees. Profit, again assessee wants to show 5 lakh as profit. He was covered by 44 AD in any of the last 5 years. Now you can see he is offering income less than presumptive income. From receipt perspective, it is amply clear, no issue, it is less than 5%. But what about payments? Should payment also include amount donated or should it not include? Because if we'll see the facts, payment, if ATG is included, total payment will be 2.10 crores. In cash, it is 0.10 crores. Percentage will come somewhere around 4.7 crores or 4.7%, sorry. So it is less than 5%. But what if ATG is to be considered as payment? Total will be 2.12 and cash will be 0.12, and the percentage of cash payment will exceed 5%. Now, in this view, there is currently no clarity from CBDT, but going by the definition, simple definition which has been provided, it talks about only expenditure, whether it be revenue or capital. ATG deduction is not your expenditure under Income Tax Act. It is you are getting a additional deduction under Chapter 6A. So in my view, ATG to be excluded while checking the 5% on payment side. This is my personal view. It is to be excluded. Himesh, he has withdrawn the money, but what he has done from that money? Has he done any expenditure? Himesh has asked where the assessee has withdrawn cash from bank as drawings, whether drawings from bank in terms of cash will be considered while calculating threshold of 5% of payment. If you mean that drawings, if you are talking about a proprietor or partnership firm where amount withdrawn from bank has been shown in his personal capital account and is considered as drawing. If the meaning of drawing is not simply withdrawing the money, but is drawing in respect to proprietor or partnership firm, since even any payment or receipt on capital account is covered, this kind of drawing might be included. Because as you can see in the definition, I'll go to definition again. In receipt side, they have clearly provided capital contribution. So drawings should be included ideally in payment side as well. Nachiket has asked, so similarly in case income from non-business income in cash needs to be considered or ignored like ATG donation. You are talking about any other sources income? I guess you are talking about other sources income. In that case, yes, it talks about business. Even in business, certain things might not be included, which we'll cover in case study 5. Actually, there is no clarity, but what it says expenditure. And it says receipts on sales, turnover, gross receipts. So the income which you are getting under other sources. The term sales, turnover, gross receipt has been defined in the guidance note of ICAI. You have to check that particular guidance note, and what I am able to remember, other sources income will not be counted in sales, turnover, or gross receipt. Now going to case study 5. Case study 5, turnover 1.5 crores, everything through account pay check. Revenue expenditure, there are I have bifurcated revenue expenditure in two parts here. First, it is 1 crore, which is by account pay check. Apart from that, assessee has incurred certain revenue expenditure of 2 lakh rupees. And this revenue expenditure was related to one expenditure, one person, and in one day. So it is to be disallowed under Income Tax Act. Assessee will not be eligible to claim this as an expenditure. Other facts remaining the same, and assessee wants to show profit of 5 lakhs. He is considering income of 1.5 crores whole. Revenue expenditure, assessee is considering only 1 crore, which means assessee is not claiming that 2 lakhs as an expenditure. Then he is having certain depreciation of 45 lakhs, and assessee wants to offer only 5 lakhs as income. Now we have to see whether 44 AD applicable or not. I think I've missed the solution of case study 3, case study 4. Case study 4 solution will be tax audit no in the view that ATG is to be excluded. Now similar things are coming in this particular case study. Assessee is offering less than the presumptive income. So answer will be in the negative side for first question. That is, he is offering less than the presumptive income. Next, from receipt perspective, everything is fine. Again, on payment side, there will be an issue. If you want to include the expense which is to be disallowed, the percentage will exceed 5%. Now, in my view, again, since this amount which the assessee has actually expended is not considered as allowable expenditure under Income Tax Act, ideally it should not also be considered, because while filing ITR, while providing ITR details, he will be disallowing this 2 lakhs. But unlike the previous case study, where ATG is clearly not an expenditure, here what assessee will do, if you have filed a return, how it will be done is, he will first create his P&L. In that P&L, he might include this 2 lakhs as his expenditure and will thereafter disallow the 2 lakh rupees in schedule BP. In such cases, the view which I have expressed here might be litigious and tax audit might be applicable. But currently I have provided a solution based on the positive side, based on a liberal view. However, if you want to be conservative, here tax audit should be applicable. But under ATG, even if very much conservative, tax audit should ideally not be applicable. Here, it can be applicable. So solution, although I have provided tax audit not applicable, but I want to say here, if you ultimately assessee might fall into penalty provisions, because even if such expenditure is disallowed, he will be offering he will be first taking this expenditure in his P&L. If not taken in P&L itself, he might get away from the tax audit applicability. So with this, I'll conclude today's session. Any question anyone wants to ask?